I'd like to take a minute. This is the first time we've ever had an opportunity since the redistricting to talk about our most recent high school redistricting effort and to take a look at some real numbers as a result of that. As you recall, 4 of our 5 high schools were involved in that redistricting effort. So as we look at Chancellor, they increased a total of 29 students, 1,317 in 2019 as opposed to 1,288 last year. Cortland had an increase of 237 students, keeping in mind that that is partially due to the additional capacity of over 300 seats with the new renovation. So Cortland has gone from 1,176 students last year to this year's total of 1,413 students. And you'll note a positive here, Massaponax decreased by 272 students. In September 30th of 2019, you see a new figure of 1,745 students. That compares to last year's total at that time of 2,017 students. And you'll note that had we not done the redistricting effort, we had projected that Massaponax High School this year was actually going to have 2,077 students. So initially it looks like our redistricting efforts are going the direction that we hoped that they would. Riverbend was not involved in the redistricting, but they had a slight decrease. In fact, as slight as you can have, they only decreased by 1 student. And their total for 2019 was actually 1,918 students. And you'll see a Spotsylvania High School increase of 61 students, 1,204 students in 2019 as opposed to 1,143 students in 2018. And that, again, was one of the objectives of our redistricting.
In your opinion, the numbers as they fleshed out, do you consider our effort above average in terms of meeting our numbers for redistricting, right where we expected or below what we expected?
I think we're right about where we expected, given some of the caveats, that you didn't want to move a senior child out of the school that they had been attending, even if their attendance zone changed, as well as juniors. So yeah, I think we're right about where we thought we would be. And I would commend the high school principals and their staff and the poor registrars. As we were getting everything settled to start the year, we were really busting tail to try to make sure that everything was done the correct way. And there was a lot of communication with individual parents and whatnot in some of those redistricted zones. And I think by and large we did a good job, to be honest with you. But it was certainly a team effort.
Yeah, I also want to commend the principals of the schools too for doing their part in mitigating a lot of the rancor by making sure information was disseminated in a proper way and allowing access to the schools so that the children would have or feel more comfortable about the process. So I just wanted to mention that. And then I also would like for us to continue to follow the progress of the redistricting or the attendance zones, because we're going to have to engage in a middle school and elementary school at some point, and we all know that's a little bit more problematic, and there's going to be a lot more intensity from our stakeholders, our parents specifically, as we consider making adjustments. And I think it's beneficial for them to know that we've had some success with the high school level, and that we're going to take advantage of lessons learned from last time, but allow us to do it in a way that's proper, that maximizes our resources. So thank you for taking on that endeavor, because when you usually talk about attendance zones, nobody's happy and no one feels like they won. And I think in this particular case, we accomplished a very difficult task in a way where there wasn't a lot of rancor. And so I consider that a great success, and I salute you for that, sir.
Well, we had a lot of good support. I want to personally thank Dr. Baker. I was dreading this process, and it worked out much better than I anticipated, and he gave me 100% support, as did the board. So I appreciate that. All of us that were working on this project appreciate the support from the top down.